All right. Welcome back. Abuja in turmoil. Protests ignite over Cybercrime Act and Hardship. All right, let's talk about this thing here. And what I heard earlier on is that there's tear gas and all kind of craziness going on in Abuja today. But I think you also mentioned earlier that there wasn't any type of casualty or anything too bad. But I'm reading a little bit from Punch Nigeria here. It says a nationwide protest led by the Take It Back movement and other civil society organizations has commenced in Abuja. The demonstration, which kicked off on Monday, April 7th, is aimed at drawing attention to the alleged misuse of Cybercrime Act, the worsening economic hardship in the country, and what organizers have described as a state of emergency in Rivers. So you were speaking to Rivers earlier, so this is go ahead and speak a little bit more to it. What's going on in Rivers? Apparently, are they backing? Are they pushing back? Are they standing up to bullies? What's going on exactly, sir?
Yes, indeed. The people of Rivers State have been able to stand up to bullies. Although later in the day, there were attacks from the police. I mean, in an action that has been adjudged to be unconstitutional, because every citizen has the right to peaceful and lawful protest. And they don't even need police permit. Once they are informed that Nigerian citizens want to have a protest march, what the police ought to do is to provide protection. That is the position of the law in Nigeria, and that is the ruling that came. Remember when Muhammadu Buhari and the late Dr. Shuba Akadibo, who ran as a running mate way back then on the platform of maybe ANPP or whatever, that was the judgment that was handed down by the Nigerian judicial system. Now, today in Port Harcourt, initially it looked like there would be no protest, but that protest had a different tinge from what was witnessed in Lagos, where also initially protesters were dispersed. But later towards evening, they gathered and then they marched and said they would not be stopped. So everywhere in Nigeria, in Port Harcourt, what the protesters mainly wanted was a situation in which the siege, the military siege, otherwise known as state of emergency, unlawfully fostered on that state by the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, based on wrong and false intelligence supplied to him by somebody that is now outed and identified as the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Yesin Wike. They want all that to be stopped, and they want the sole administrator who has been appropriating funds in an unlawful way, funds that will not be released to elected representatives of the people. They want all that to be stopped, and the sole administrator should pack his bag and baggages and leave their state. However, in Abuja, where our good friend Omoyele Showore led several protesters alongside lawyer Deji Adeyanju, they defied whatever the police had wanted. And they said they would go all the way to the National Assembly complex, although the police said they were using Eagle Square for the commemorative event concerning the anniversary of the founding of the Nigerian police. So everywhere, Nigerians seem to have latched on to the fact that they have to march in order to have a freedom of expression, in order to be able to associate, and in order to make sure that democracy really works for Nigerians. And they are even demanding better treatment for the police itself. You know, in some places up north, it's almost like the protest was aborted because they know. I do not want to speak for the Nigerian authorities, but one thing that they know is that the thing may get out of hand up north. So they gave a close marking and make sure that effectively the protest was shut down up north. But another key point being emphasized by the protesters is that Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, may be surrendering the country's sovereignty to foreign interests the way he easily gets out and not giving the actual reasons. He would say he's on retreat in France. He's been there more than 2 times since he came into office as president. So they want him to stay in Nigeria and really take charge as president, and as a president that could attend to the myriads of problems bedeviling, assaulting the country at the moment. So these are the issues that are involved in today's protest.
Wow. Yeah. The medical. I have a question. The medical trip that these people keep taking. I mean, I think
no, you can't give him what he has done.
Yeah, they called it working vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's had several of those. Remember, at the time he said he was paying, he was going to use a short or brief visit to the King of England, King Charles, to cover up for his medical visit to is it St. Mary's Hospital in London. So, and he was also exposed concerning that, and it led to a huge embarrassment to them. And from what we have even had now, from a disclosure, because you see, our media partner at Sahara Reporters, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, whatever he says, because he is a very hardworking journalist, I love to believe and investigate further. But I believe in that an agenda is being packaged, is being worked on by Tinubu to make sure that the constitution is tinkered with, and then instead of the presidential system that we are operating on in Nigeria, that will be replaced by a parliamentary system, and that could also give him another 6 years plus 4, which would give him a total of 10 years in power. So that has to be investigated, and that is a serious thing. Such a thing can. So we suspect that Tinubu's current trip to Paris, to wherever he is in London, wherever he is in France, whether it's Paris or the suburb, wherever he is there, maybe a retreat to really work out the details of this expectation. And when Sowore mentions something, honestly, you must attend to it as if it's
you have to take it seriously.
It's an holy writ. You have to take it seriously. He does not just open his mouth recklessly or frivolously, like some people who are around town in Nigeria, like they behave. And then more about the what's it called?
Cybercrime. I was going to say yes.
Legislation. Remember, they are not really focusing on cybercrime itself. It's about whatever we do, like we are talking now. If they want to manipulate it, if they want to twist it around to say that, oh, we are committing a cybercrime, commenting on events in Nigeria, and what have you, that is the way to go. And no nation progresses that way. They are desperate to make sure that, Nigeria attracts foreign direct investment. Nigeria does this, Nigeria does that. But the optics they keep projecting to the world outside there is not in consonance, is not in agreement with their expressed intentions. It's not. The two do not agree. And this is where we almost begin to show concern. For example, if Natasha was not a strong woman, you saw the way they were going to start accusing her of going all over the world to embarrass Nigeria. Meanwhile, these same people who see themselves as original and true Democrats who campaign for the coming of democracy, they have forgotten their own antecedents, that they were overseas. They were abroad, conscientizing people, campaigning against the government of the day then in Nigeria, which we also, we supported such activities that the military wronged us in annulling June 12, 1993 election, and that they must go. But if people now see what this current administration is perpetuating against Nigerians, the things they are doing, the actions they have taken so far, and then they say, oh, this must stop, and they internationalize the campaign. Why must you hang it on their neck like an albatross that, oh, they are campaigning against Nigeria? Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan is disgracing Nigeria and all that. So, fundamental personal disagreement is now seen, is being played up as a crime against the country. So, what we suspect is that they are repackaging Decree 4 under Buhari Idiagbon regime. They are repackaging Decree 2 under Babangida, Aihomu, and all these military people who led Nigeria in succession. They are repackaging all these things, and they are bringing it back as cybercrime thing. And you must know that that in itself is being copied expressly from the colonial legal heritage, the law of what was it called? Is it subversion or whatever they used to call it? Whatever, sedition, the law of sedition. This is what they are repackaging to intimidate present-day Nigerians and the people who are behind all this stuff that has to be shut down. People who would not want to guarantee real joy and happiness through constitutional governance for people of Nigeria, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. And if they are not even voted out, I think they ought to bite the humble pie and resign from office.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Let's see. Marriott, what's going on? All right. Thank you, everybody. Join the conversation. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified. We're like 20 minutes over today, but that's fine. I'm sure you guys didn't mind. It was a very engaging episode. This is our 60th episode, by the way. So do us a favor. Hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I think we're at 300 plus subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000. So every time you share, you help us get a little closer. And we're trying to get to 1,000 followers on Facebook as well. So thank you. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. Cheers.